If your goal is to get stronger in the gym, there's one weird trick you can use to almost guarantee strength and muscle over time. And that one weird trick is adding 5 pounds to the bar. Now, having a copywriting background, I was just, I had to use that one weird trick line at one point in my YouTube career. But with that said, that aside, it's really one thing that a lot of people seem to forget. I've worked in a gym for 4.5 years of my life. I've worked with a lot of people online, and a lot of people do get caught in the trap of using the same weight, doing the same reps, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to do that. You're still using your body and going through ranges of motion through exercises and burning calories and getting the heart rate up a little bit. It's all a good thing if you're just going to the gym to get some exercise in for your overall health. There's nothing wrong with that. However, not everyone wants to just keep doing the same things over and over again and getting the same results. A lot of people want to get stronger. They want to build some muscle. They want to just have more power to them. And the best way, the fastest way, the most simple and straightforward way is to just add the smallest amount of weight to the bar that you possibly can. For example, if you have a barbell like I do back here, there are 2.5 pound plates. And a lot of people will look at those and kind of just, dismiss them. They're like, it's just 2.5 pounds. What does that mean? Well, let me show you. Now, what I'm doing on my workouts here is I'm going to put them up on the screen right here so you can see the whole week, and you'll be able to see in real time what I mean by this. Now, last week I had 160 pounds on the bench press for 3 reps, and this week I have 165 pounds on the bar just because we're going to add weight to the bar and see what I get. So I have my wife here spotting me, making sure I don't crush myself in the garage gym when I would be by myself if I failed a rep. I can have ways of getting out of there, but that's not the point of this video. We're just trying to push it as hard as I can, as much as I can, and unfortunately I only got the 2.25 reps, but quarter reps don't count, so 2 reps, and then we moved on to some barbell rows. But the point isn't so much that I failed this particular week to stay at the same reps while increasing the weight. The point is that I increased the weight anyway, even though last week was a little bit on the tough side. Now, all these workout videos are still very interesting to me because I've lifted so much more weight in the past, and I do a video proof. If you don't believe me, I can pull up one of the old videos from way back in the day. But anyway, the point here is you just want to add a little bit of weight to the bar and continue to push and push and push. And what will happen is your body over time will adapt to lifting the heavier weight, both in the central nervous system, your brain actually firing enough signals to your muscle to push the weight, but also an actual muscular adaptation where you grow muscle tissue and grow muscular output to be stronger and build muscle. So it's a double thing that's happening here, which is really cool. So in other videos, especially on the overhead press, I talked about this where I had a whole thing where I was lifting heavy weight, kind of like just getting into position with the overhead press with much more than my working set. So when I went back down to my working set, my brain was ready to push the heavy weight, but it was back to the lighter weight and made that lighter weight feel so much easier. And it's kind of like a way to trick yourself into it. And that's not the focus of this video, but I did make a whole video on that, something about the overhead press. It's in the logs. You can go ahead and check it on the channel. But the point is, adding the weight does make a big difference over time. It just helps you adapt to pushing more weight over time. Now, I'm also a big fan of increasing reps over time, but that depends really on the exercise. Currently, my main focus is to just add as much weight as possible on the big lifts, but on something like the bicep curls and the tricep extensions, lateral raises, chest flies, all that kind of stuff, I am more focused on increasing quality reps. So I'm kind of doing both systems of progressive overload, both the main ones that actually do something in the same kind of workouts, again, depending upon the exercise, depending upon the focus there. And what I've found is that these sets that you're watching right now, which is a giant set where I'm doing curls and tricep extensions and then lateral raises all back to back to back, I ended up doing so many reps that I'm gonna have to maybe, increase the weight or figure something else out where I'm not doing so many dang reps. Although, ain't nothing wrong with a bunch of reps either. But these sets, they just take so long. And it's like, it's almost more tiring just doing the entire thing than the actual exercise itself. But it's still fun. I'm going to bump up the weight, not next week because I've already done those workouts and I'm a week behind still. But the week following that, I'll go ahead and increase the weight because we're doing I think if I did 18 reps and then 12 reps and then another 10, that's a lot of reps in one singular set of 3 different exercises, but a lot of reps. But that's how it goes. And I actually do like training this way. It does cut the time down quite a bit, and it's still able to make some decent progress doing it. So we're going to keep on running with it, but definitely going to increase the weight to, not do so many dang reps and go from there. Moving on to leg day, we do squats, we do deadlifts, and that's just about it for our leg day. I do kind of want to get a leg curl machine at one point because that's one of the muscles that are really missing from this, and then maybe some better way to do calf raises. But this session, we're doing 195 pounds, I believe, if I could see that 5 pound on the side. Yep, the 2.5's on the floor. So 195 pounds, did 3 reps, felt pretty solid on them. Definitely could have done more. I had pretty good energy that day, but I decided to cap it because the whole point, again, back to the beginning, is to add weight each and every week and not necessarily max out 3 reps each and every week and push. Like that was something I probably could have done 2 more reps with, but just continue at that 3 reps so that once I get to a 3 rep set, which I will pretty soon, then it's really grind time. And these weeks leading up to that have been a little bit easier, so it's not completely draining my entire energy source and having a longer recovery period. But moving on to the deadlifts, which I've been doing for a while now, this is another thing where I'm capped at the amount of weight that I have. And I probably talk about this every single week, but I only have 220 pounds and I can deadlift considerably more than that. But we're just going to continue increasing the reps until I go ahead and pick up some more 45-pound plates, whatever that might be, whenever that might be. We will still see, but that was definitely a draining set, both on my breathing and my hands. Got to have some coffee, of course, on my 3rd workout of the week, which is overhead press. And like I said, we used to do that heavy weight first to just do like a half rep or a quarter rep, but we're cutting that out and we're just going ahead to do 110 pounds for set to 3. And that felt pretty solid. I ended up doing a second set of 3 right after that. And then we moved on to 25-pound weighted pull-ups. And I got it right this time. I keep saying weighted chin-ups. This time I didn't. Probably could have not brought that up and just went with it. But anyway, we're just increasing the weight on this. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler for next week. I probably did a bad thing where I increased the weight too quickly. But we'll just leave it there. We'll see what happens. Just go ahead and stay tuned for that. But got my sets in there. I think I got I didn't even count how many I got there, but I got that number of reps. And then we go on to this marathon set of a giant set. But this time doing hammer curls instead of the bicep curls, hit the side of the arms a little bit more and he'll hit the forearms a little bit more. And I think it's a pretty balanced routine for a 3-day routine. Well, again, I gotta reiterate this one thing for my particular goal. My legs grow pretty easily. I don't have to put a ton of work into my legs and they can still get stronger and grow a little bit. But for my upper body, I can beat the heck out of it and it does struggle to grow. Calorie surplus or not, at maintenance, doesn't matter. I've done aggressive bulks before and my upper body just is much tougher to grow than my legs. However, we're just going to go ahead and keep pushing away and doing these 2 upper bodies a week and then 1 lower body. I have really adapted to liking this routine. I did push-pull legs, I think, for over 2 years, but I think I needed some more upper body work. And even though technically a lot of it is about the same volume as I was doing in push-pull legs, just being able to hit chest, shoulders, triceps twice a week is probably better off than just doing it once a week and not getting any more stimulus, even though one is a horizontal push like a bench press and one push exercise is a vertical push, which is more shoulder focused, but it still hits the chest a tiny bit, is still better than, again, just having it once a week if I'm trying to grow my upper body and maximize the results I can get from that in a 3-day routine with limited time. Because if I did have more time, I would probably train full body 3 times a week, but especially on mornings that I train before work when I have to leave at 7:30 and I already get up at 5 every day. It's a very short window of time to do all the stuff I have to do in the middle of in the morning before I go. I have to really optimize my time as much as possible. So there is a trade-off between that and the overall workload that I can do to get the best results possible. So with the time that I am given in the day before work and considering what my goal is, which is upper body growth, I think I found the best of both worlds, also considering my 4 to 5 hours in sleep per night, very lackluster recovery ability, I think we're in a sweet spot where everything seems to work out. But again, the whole point is add a little bit of weight and try to push as hard as you can to get the same reps. And if you don't, stay at that weight until you get to those same reps and then increase the weight again. And that's a way to do it. I don't know if I already posted this or I will be posting this, a video on progressive overload. It's a lot more focused on that. And you can go ahead and check that out if you have any further questions about progressive overload, the other ways you can do it, and why I don't recommend those ways as much. So that's all I got for this one. Go ahead and check out another video on my channel, and I will see you in the next video.